There are ancient legends across many cultures that tell of a demon or deity that feed on the blood of the living. These tales, with the belief that the dead could rise again, gave way to one of our most well-known monsters, a being so powerful and charismatic that you could easily become their next meal. This monster's complexity has inspired media for centuries, and will continue as humans remain under the trance of vampires.
Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams,
where we watch and dissect your favorite spooky movies.
I'm your host, Alex.
And Stephanie.
And this is a mostly horror podcast.
Each season, we will rank 13 movies on a scariness scale from, you guessed it, 1 to 13.
We will uncover the real-life myths and legends that inspire these movies, and tell you just how authentic they are.
This week, we walk home alone at night, and a girl walks home alone at night.
So, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Have you seen A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night before we watched it for the podcast?
No, I didn't even know it was a movie, to
I know.
be honest.
Me neither. No idea.
Yeah, this was recommended to us by a friend, and I wish they would have told us that it wasn't dubbed.
Oh, yeah. You were texting me, is there a dubbed version? I'm like, nah, I think we gotta read it.
Yeah.
And,
which is fine, but it's a little distracting to read, especially the first time you watch something.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't have any issues with it. There's not that much dialogue, I feel.
Yeah. I remember you texted me. You're like, don't worry, not too much talking.
No, it's fine. We got this.
We could.
Did you like it?
It was different, and I also do like the fact, well, we're going to get into it later, but the whole, Femme Fatale story angle and everything, really pushing the dynamic that it's this woman that you should be afraid of instead of her fearing people around her.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers. What did you think about, the style of it?
Well, I must admit, I don't watch a lot of black and white films, so it was different, and I don't know, it made me feel like I was watching something, from many, many years ago, rather than
it's old.
Newish.
It's not, it is a newer movie. Stephanie, where did you have this movie on our scary scale?
I had it as a 9.
I had it as an 8, so pretty,
good for us.
Basically the same.
Yeah.
Do you agree that it was up there?
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think it's more atmospheric.
Yeah.
In the scariness. I think the black and white really
gives it that dreary and creepy vibe. Yeah.
So, I think
obviously, it's a girl standing alone in the shadows and stuff, even if she is just a girl, but
riding a skateboard.
Yeah, those aspects are silly, but she is actually very dangerous.
Yeah,
so.
It's more of, I feel like, the anticipation.
Yeah.
And I think the scariness comes from, the other people, almost.
Right.
And what the interaction could look like with her. So.
Well, we see her when she follows the dad, I think, for a little bit, too, and he's like, please stop following me.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of, mirroring him. I'm like, that's creepy.
She's like, here I come. I'm going to get you.
I can go this way. I can go this way.
I'm like, kibble.
Yes, I agree.
Do you want to go through the movie background?
Yeah, please.
So, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night is a 2014 Iranian American vampire film directed by Anna Lily Amirpour. Amirpour. I'm going to go with Amirpour.
Mm-hmm.
This looks right?
I think so.
The movie tells the story of a female vampire, known only as the Girl, who stalks the streets of a fictional Iranian city called Bad City. It's just bad. It's not good.
I thought they were joking about that. They're like, I came from Bad City. And I was like, are you joking? They're like, yeah, Bad City.
No, it is literally bad, but it's also just called bad. Do you think by naming it Bad City, they just doomed it?
I guess.
This is a bad city.
It's just bad.
We're literally making this city right now. Why are you calling it bad? It's bad.
Just bad.
The film is shot entirely in black and white, and its stunning visuals and haunting score have made it a critical and commercial success. It has been described as a mix of Western, horror, and film noir, and its evocative imagery is both beautiful and haunting. The film was shot in California, but it effectively captures the look and feel of Iranian city. Is that weird? It was shot in California.
Yeah, I think I saw that in the credits, and I was like, really? But, also, since it was black and white, it kind of felt like more nondescript, and plus it's called Bad City, so.
Right. I guess Why did they film it in California?
I don't know. Maybe it just gave the right ecosystem.
Oh, yes. The environment.
The right terrain, I guess.
Yeah, the nature, everything was it was perfect.
Yes.
The director, regarding the mythology of vampires, has stated that a vampire is so many things. Serial killer, a romantic, a historian, a drug addict. They're sort of all these things in one. The film examines these facets of a vampire as described by the director in a variety of ways. The film's protagonist, the girl, is sort of an anti-hero vigilante with a taste for bad men in Bad City. Sorry, it's just so stupid. Bad City.
I know.
As a vampire, she's able to roam the streets at night without being concerned for her safety, subverting the implications of the film's title. She is not the victim and possesses agency and power that would not be typically reserved for her in an environment such as Bad City. In this way, the film has feminist leanings. So the film received positive reviews from critics. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 96% based on 135 reviews with an average rating of 8 out of 10. The website's critics' consensus reads, "A Girl Walks Home at Night blends conventional elements into something brilliantly original and serves as a striking calling card for the writer-director."
Okay. Would you like to hear a little about the plot?
Yes.
Okay. Rash, I believe that's how you say his name, is a hardworking Iranian man that lives with and takes care of his heroin-addicted father named Hossein?
Hossein? This is going to be a bad one.
We're going to butcher his name.
Let's just say that the main character guy and his father.
Yes. And I mean, I don't really remember them saying each other's names that much. So, and plus, since you're watching it with so limited dialogue, it's almost like, main guy, drug addict father.
That's kind of,
drug dealer.
That's kind of how I watched it. I did halfway through. I'm like, I don't know these people's names.
No.
Unfortunately. So we're going to try. We're going to try very hard.
Yeah, but please forgive us if we mispronounce anything. So he lives with his drug-addicted father, and unfortunately his father's addictions has put them in trouble with his drug dealer named Saeed. And he takes Arash's car in exchange for the money his father owes him.
Rude.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, that's my car. And he's like, sorry about it.
Like he even tries to correct him. He's like, it's not my dad's car. It's my car. He's like, oh, fuck you. Like, it's my car now.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'd be so pissed.
Right? And it's a nice car. Like, so, and he even talks to a kid on the street. Like, he was walking home. This kid asked him for money, and he's like, no. And he's like, but you have a fancy car. And he's like, I've worked for many, many years to have the fancy car.
Yeah, that's why I have no money.
Yeah.
Because I have this car. See it? My fancy car that I bought by working hard. Like you should. Child.
Yeah. And I feel like it doesn't really play a big factor into it, but he picks up this random cat, and he's just like, this is my cat now.
Okay, I mean, no, I was going to try to say it's a plot point, but it's really not.
Not really.
You could just take the cat out, and it's
at the very end, he figures it out because of the cat.
Yeah. So
that's why I thought maybe I just mentioned that he has a cat.
The cat is the gun in this scenario. You throw the cat, you have to shoot you have to use the cat.
I was so worried something was going to happen with this cute cat.
That was the main source of stress and suspense in this movie is the cat.
Yes.
But
because even the drug dealer picks up the cat, and I was like, please don't choke the cat. Like,
no, he just takes it. He's just like, this is my cat now.
She's like, hi, Mr. Cat. Like, so, cat's name is Mr. Cat, because that's all they call him.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? They say Mr. Cat more than they do any of the characters' names, so.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the story. So, the drug dealer takes his car, and later on we see Arash steal an expensive pair of earrings from a wealthy woman he works for named Shada in hopes to get his car back with them.
Did you know, what he does for her? Is he just a housekeeper?
I think he's like a handyman, because he called him up to fix her TV, but he was working outside, so I wonder if he was, gardening, but also just come fix whatever is my issue.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a gardener. I don't know about your TV.
Yeah.
Same plants and TVs. Very similar.
I guess so.
They kind of work the same.
They never mention exactly what she does or why she has a bandage on her nose, so I assume that means she got work done.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But they never discuss that.
Yeah, maybe that's just their way of just reiterating that she's wealthy.
Yeah.
Because only rich people get nose jobs.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's really all that happens there. Like, he gets her to leave the room and takes a pair of earrings that he spotted on her dresser.
Mm-hmm.
So, meanwhile, we cut back to the drug dealer named Saeed, and he is collecting money from a prostitute in his now car. And the prostitute, Ati, her name is...
Ati?
Ati.
Like yeah, A-T-T-I, right?
Yeah, or
yeah.
Ati.
Ati?
Maybe Ati.
Let's say Ati.
Okay. She wants a cut of the money from her services. And he's like, what do you need the money for? Like, do you even know what you want? Kind of thing. It's like trying to get personal with her for no reason. And then to distract from the more personal conversation, she just starts to try to give him a blowjob.
Yeah.
And he partakes, I guess.
He's like, oh no. Like,
oh no, why?
The prostitute is trying to do that. Whatever should I do?
But he stops her when he looks out of the rearview mirror and he sees a cloaked figure, like just standing several feet behind the car, just watching.
Hey guys, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? Guys.
And I don't know why, but I don't know if he thinks like the prostitute's in on it. I should say, this is what they call her in the Wikipedia thing. I should say sex worker. Sorry. So, he don't, I don't know. That's the...
It's derogatory?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sex worker is more appropriate.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, that's what they say in the... I mean, I think she's called that in the movie too, right? No? Oh, well, anyways, that's fine. Well, going forward, we will say sex worker.
Yes, we will say the appropriate term, sex worker. So, I don't know why, but he assumes that the sex worker is in on it, so he pushes a T from the car and just drives off. But later on, we see him walking down the street, I guess back to his apartment, and the cloaked figure is following him. And everyone that sees this cloaked figure just like, I'll go approach this person.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, again, it's Bad City, so that's just what you do there.
I guess. You just, tell him what's for. So he goes, face to face with her. She says nothing. So it's, this woman, and, only her face is really sticking out. And she's got her whole body covered in this giant cloak. So he looks at her. I think he asks her, why are you following me? But she doesn't say anything. And he's like, all right, come with me.
What? Yeah, if you go up to someone and they say nothing, the response should not be, follow me.
Come back to my home.
Yeah, that is not consent.
Yes.
But, I mean, she does follow him, so, I mean,
yeah, she's like, why not?
I guess she is.
Yeah. So, yeah, he takes her back to his apartment and acts like she's basically not there. She just starts snorting cocaine. He pops some pills.
He asked if she wanted some, though.
Yeah, he did. And she's just kind of standing there, looking around and whatnot.
Vibing in the corner,
Yeah.
This is fine.
At one point, he does, a little dance, and I was like, what's happening?
He's being charismatic,
I guess. I was like, he's high. I don't know.
Not yet. He's about to be, though.
Yeah. So at one point, he kind of tries to make a move on her, and he sticks his finger in her mouth. And he did this with Ati, the sex worker, as well. And I was like, can you not? Stop putting your fingers in people's mouths. So then he, almost like in a romantic, we about to do something kind of measure, obviously. Not a, let's see what you got in there.
Yeah, he's digging around. Let me check your tonsils.
Right. So she shows him her fangs, and he takes his finger out, and she just goes ahead and puts her finger back in, and he doesn't, try to stop her.
Yeah.
And, she goes, punch, and takes it.
The whole finger.
The whole thing.
Clean off.
Yes.
No problem.
Yeah. And I laughed full out when she took his finger and put it in his mouth. Oh. And then attacked him.
Yeah. I mean, oh God, it was gross. It was wrong in so many ways.
Ugh. I thought it was funny, but...
Stephanie over here, yeah, get him. And I mean, he deserved it.
Yeah.
He definitely deserved it.
He's an asshole. He's fine.
it was gross. It was... Bleh.
So she kills him. And as she leaves, she passes Arash, who has come to offer the earrings for his car. And he finds Saeed dead and takes back his car along with a suitcase of drugs and cash. So I was like, so is he going to become Saeed? And I mean, he basically does. He goes home and then he starts selling these drugs. Mm-hmm. But he's also trying to get his father to sober up as well.
Yeah.
So
probably having a suitcase full of drugs is not the way to go about that.
Right.
So that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
But he gets his car back, so, plus there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he's dead. I'm going to take the suitcase. Not that he should be, mourn the death of this guy, but he just kind of like,
doesn't really call anybody, just takes his stuff, and he's like, okay, gotta bounce.
Yeah, bye.
It is Bad City.
Yep. Bad City. Good old Bad City.
This allows him to quit his job for Sada, the wealthy woman. So he ends up going to a costume party where she happens to be the wealthy woman, and he's like giving them drugs for free because now he has all of these, and she's like, you should try some.
See, like, if you're going to sell drugs, you should actually, like, sell them.
Yeah, not just give them away.
Not just give them away. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Now you're just being a shit. I mean, well, selling drugs is not good either. Well, anyways, we're not going to get into that. Anyway. He's just giving it away.
Yeah, right. And I was like, do you know where you're going to get more, too, if you're going to keep doing this? Like,
I mean, that guy's house, probably, right?
I guess.
Do you think anyone's going to find his body? No.
I don't know. Probably no.
No, they could just go to his house,
Yeah.
get some more. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah. So he ends up taking ecstasy with them and tries to make the moves on her, but she's not into it. So he ends up under the influence walking the street, and this is why I thought Bad City was a joke, because he's just kind of like sitting out on the sidewalk, and the girl who walks home alone at night in her cloak comes up to him, and she's like, you shouldn't sit here or something like that. And he says, I'm from Bad City. And I thought that was a joke. Like, I can take it. I'm from a bad area. Like,
No.
No.
It's very literal.
Yes.
And proper noun.
Right.
Was it capitalized?
No.
Was it?
Maybe. Was it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Okay. I thought you were like grammar checking me right now.
No, I was just asking.
I don't think so. So she ends up taking him back to her apartment, like with her skateboard, who she stole from a child.
Oh yeah, earlier in the movie, didn't she like scare this little boy?
Yeah. So the same little boy that asked him, like, I don't even remember where this happened in the plot. I just know by the time they meet, she has the skateboard. But in a separate scene to this, before she meets Arash, she is following this small child. He's probably no more than 8 years old, skateboarding, and scares the shit out of him. And she's like, are you a good boy? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, don't lie to me. Are you a good boy? And he's like, yeah.
I thought he was toast.
Yeah. And then she was like, I'll watch you till the end of your days. And then he like runs away, and she just like, okay, got a free skateboard.
Which I will say makes a lot more sense in the context of the movie, like, once you watch it. Like, at the end, like, her watching him to the days, I'm sure she's going to.
Oh, yeah.
She takes out these terrible men.
Right.
And I'm like, she's legit. She's going to. Like, she ain't lying.
Right.
You better watch your shit, little boy.
Yeah. She literally wants them to be good people, otherwise they are toast.
Yeah. She'll get them.
So when she meets Arash, I don't know, she like kind of like encourages him to go home, but he's like, I can't get up. Like, I don't know where to go, kind of thing. So he's like, okay, sit on the skateboard, and then she pushes him home on it. So they're kind of like just hanging out, listening to music alone in her apartment, and
when she's in her room, she just seems like a
normal person. Yeah. I mean, she's still quiet. Everyone's quiet. And
yeah.
So, like, they don't get to know each other on, like, how do you do? My name's Stephanie, your name is Alex kind of thing. It's more like what's your favorite song? And, like, what makes you cry?
Yeah. Oh, God, do we have time?
Right. So, the next morning, he talks about being out late with his father, who's in very heavy stages of withdrawal, but like has some semblance to ask him like where he was last night. He mentions that he met a girl, and he asks like, what's her name, like who's her family, and he's like,
I don't know.
Oh shucks, don't know.
But she likes these songs.
Right.
And puppies make her cry.
Right. So he leaves a note on her door to meet him the next night, and I don't know where they go. It's like
that power plant or something.
Yeah, it's like right outside a power plant.
Like a facility of some sort.
Yeah.
Like, that's just why. That's the hangout spot in Bad City.
I guess so.
They don't have any other place to go.
Right. So they meet there. He brings her burgers, and she just kind of like tries to pretend to eat it, but he's like, I don't know anyone that doesn't like burgers. He doesn't press her why. And eventually she does say, like, I've done terrible things. And he's like, how do you know that I haven't done terrible things?
Yeah, I get what he's saying, but it doesn't erase
right,
like the bad things. Like, you can both be bad, do bad things, and like you shouldn't be by each other.
Right.
Like,
and I mean, technically, I think she does know if he has done terrible things because she kills people that done terrible things.
Yeah, she'd kill him.
Yeah,
sure.
Right. So, whatever. They're just kind of like, oh, okay. And unfazed by it all, he gives her the earrings that he stole, and she's like, she shows her ears, and he's like, I didn't realize you didn't have pierced ears. Mm-hmm. So he takes out a safety pin because she's like, pierce them now. Like, and I'm like, what?
Don't do that.
And then he just like sterilizes it with a lighter and pierces her ears for her. And I was like, this is so... And I thought she was going to freak out and bite him for a second. Yeah. After the first one.
Yeah.
She made like a face that looked like she was going to...
Just by like reaction.
Yeah.
Involuntary reaction.
Yeah. But, he manages to pierce her ears. It looks nice. And she leaves. And she ends up meeting up with Ati because I guess she has also been following her because she's worried that she doesn't have anything to live for, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And, which is nice because like there's like solidarity between them. And she doesn't see Ati as like a bad person. Like she sees her as someone that has to do the things she does.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those victim of circumstances kind of thing. And initially I thought that the vampire was going to kill her, but then I'm like, okay, I kind of...
Because she just followed her, and it was like, it's like her normal MO.
And then she doesn't, and then you're kind of like, oh, okay, I see what she's doing now.
Yeah. So she ends up giving her the payment Saeed owed her, and they have a conversation about Ati no longer remembering what it is to desire. Mm-hmm. So she leaves, and Hossein, the father, is suffering really badly from heroin withdrawal and claims that the cat is their mother. Is the son's mom coming to taunt him.
I forgot about that part. Yeah. He's like screaming at this cat.
He's like, why are you here?
Like, what's happening?
I know. And he's infuriated and like breaks some pictures and starts throwing stuff. And I was like, if you throw that cat.
It's done. I'm turning this movie off right now.
Right. And he demands that, like, he needs his medicine to Arash when he comes out and confronts him about making all this ruckus. And he's had it. He's like, if you want your medicine so bad, here you go. Throws him the money, throws him the drugs, and tells him, take the cat. I don't want the cat anymore. And I'm like, what'd the cat do?
She doesn't want it.
Yeah.
No longer. Yeah, I was actually surprised that he threw out his dad.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't expect that to happen.
Didn't think
he's like, get out.
Either.
And he did. I'm like, good for you.
I guess he just realized it was his breaking point at this point. So.
Yeah. Once you start yelling at the cat,
there's no going back.
There's no going back. You did too much.
All right. Can't. So Hossein goes right to Ati and forces her to take heroin with him. And
what's it in her? Like,
she does not want to. Like, she agrees to do what he wants because money and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's a sex worker, obviously, but he's like, here, come have fun with me. And she's like, no, I don't really want to shoot up with you. Yeah. And he's like, no, let's just do it. And just shoots it right into the vein of her wrist. And and just like spoons her. Like, ugh.
It's so icky.
It is icky because she doesn't seem to want to be doing any of that.
Oh, God, no. No, not even. No.
Yeah.
No.
So randomly, I don't know how the woman who walks home alone at night just like appears out of nowhere and realizes that she's in trouble and kills the father. Mm-hmm. And she helps Ati dispose of his body and just kind of leaves him outside of an apartment dumpster.
Yeah.
And tells her, like, take this beast or this cat. Because somehow I think the cat, like, triggered her. Like, she was looking at the cat's eyes or something, and all of a sudden the woman appeared, too.
Yeah.
Something about, like, the cat almost being, like, a familiar... I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was, like, a trigger.
Or, like, just, how cats are, like...
sensitive to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So the following morning, Arash discovers his father's body, and he runs to the apartment of the woman that walks home alone at night, because we don't know her name.
The vampire.
Yeah, the vampire. And begs her to run away with him. And she's kind of reluctant at first, but then she starts gathering up her stuff, which includes all the jewelry she's stolen off these men that she's killed. Mm-hmm. She's just dumping it into a bag in front of him.
Hell yeah. Good.
And he's like, whatever.
No questions. Just Just keep going.
Yeah, but then he notices while she has her back turned that the cat's in the room that he gave to his dad and realizes she must have something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't stop it or run out of the room or anything. He goes with her and they drive off together. And he pulls off to the side of the road and not sure what to do. But eventually just gets back in the car and they continue their trip.
Okay.
Yeah, he just accepts it, I guess.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, he knows. He knows.
And he's like, you know what? Probably for the best.
Yeah, what else was there to do? I told him to leave.
Yeah.
And he got into trouble, apparently. But yeah, that's the end of the story.
Ta-da!
So I was like, so are you accepting that she's a vampire? Or, at least a murderer?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, he probably doesn't know she's a vampire, but just a murderer. But again, he's like, he probably just assumes everyone in that city is a murderer at this point.
Maybe that's why he's just like... Because it almost seems like... At first, when he gets out of the car, I was like, oh, he's going to attack her or something like that. But it almost just seems like, oh, fuck, what was I going to do now?
Yeah. It's like when you, jump at something or, you go to do something without really fully thinking it through. And then, halfway through it, you're like, what am I doing?
Right.
What is happening?
Yeah, so honestly, all he does outside the car is just kind of, pace for a second. And then he just gets back in the car and keeps driving.
He just needed a moment to think through everything.
Yeah.
Alone. Oh, 20 feet from the car.
Yeah.
But...
With the cat and the vampire sitting there
Hi.
Hi.
But you like the story?
I do. I do have questions for what's going to happen to them after, though. Because he only comes out at night.
Right.
So, granted, we don't know necessarily if she can make it out in the day, but I would assume she doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that's a big no.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel it's weird that she's going with him. Why?
I don't know why she has determined that he is good.
Yeah.
Maybe just because she sees him almost as a T, victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
He didn't want to sell drugs to people. It was just kind of fell into his lap.
Yeah. No, I think he is a good person. That's why. But is he the only good person
she's ever met?
Because otherwise no one else has ever said let's go or
I don't know.
Maybe. Now this is getting into things that probably aren't true.
What do you think?
What if she was stuck there in the city and she needed someone to take her out? But then I don't like that because there's a feminist kind of overall tone to the movie. So I would hate that a man had to save her kind of situation.
Right. I don't feel like it's that. It's more or less them driving off together. I feel just to be free of it all.
Yeah.
Not he saved her.
Yeah. I think that maybe that's just a criticism for the movie then, because I just don't get why him.
Well, I don't even really get why there had to be a romantic interest.
Right.
Because,
is it romantic, though?
I don't know. I kind of assumed because of the whole, earring thing, that seemed kind of intimate, and...
I don't know if you're just trying to be, friendly?
Did they kiss? I feel like they kissed.
I don't know. Shit, I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like they were intimate a little.
I don't know, because part of me is you could be drawn to someone, but not obviously in a romantic way.
Yeah. A lot of these vampire movies, too, that, there's a lot of grayness where you're are they in love, or are they just really good friends?
Friends with benefits.
Best friends.
Right, exactly. I don't know. I guess I don't really like that ending.
Yeah.
What I really wish would have happened is, he asks her to go, and she's like, nah.
I gotta stay and do what I do.
Yeah, and he just leaves.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
I don't like that she went with him. I'm like, why? What's the reason?
Maybe she's gonna continue to do whatever, her Femme Fatale, wherever they go.
Yeah. They're on their way to Terrible City. That's the neighboring town.
Right, yeah.
That's where they're going.
Terrible City.
I think I liked it overall. Just the
ending's a little...
Yeah.
Confusing.
It was a pretty, straightforward story. I thought it was going to be a little bit more convoluted. Because I thought, I don't know, I hate to use it, call it artsy-fartsy, but it seemed kind of that way, based on the trailer and stuff.
So you thought it would be more subtle.
Or confusing, or, what the hell's going on. But it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they come right out with it that she's a vampire as soon as she attacks the first guy.
Which I appreciated, because I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to have to read the dialogue.
Read into it. Yeah.
And then really try to piece it together.
Yeah, I thought so too, especially with everything being so quiet. I was like, it's mostly going to be like subtle images or something. But no,
it was
like, no. She got fangs. Look.
Right. All right, there we go. Perfect. Great.
Right for it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I liked it. It was different. And you also, like, again, I really did appreciate the female anti-hero aspect.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It's like I do like how the title, it seems like she's the victim. Like,
Oh,
girl
yeah.
walking home at night. Like,
Right. Like,
you know,
you gotta watch out.
nah, she's the one you gotta watch out for. Beach. She's gonna get you.
So I wanted to go into a little bit of the whole femme fatale persona.
Oh.
So the femme fatale is sometimes called a man-eater, a vamp, or a stock character of a mysterious, beautiful, and seductive woman whose charms ensnare her lovers, often leading them into compromising, deadly traps.
Did you say they're called a vamp?
Sometimes.
Outside of the whole vampire thing?
Yeah. Well, also, I think because they're also referred to as man-eaters, so vamps are man-eaters.
Okay.
Vice versa.
Interesting. The reason I wanted to ask about that, there's a movie called Vamp that we're not covering this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that has to do with that, because on the cover there's a female vampire. So I wonder if that plays into it.
Maybe.
I have no idea what that movie's about. So I'm just curious. I'm like, vamp. Okay, I've heard of that.
And she is a popular archetype of literature and art. And typically she lures victims by seductress, witch, enchantress kind of powers over men. And I mean, I guess that kind of works for this character, but she doesn't really have to do anything.
I know. She just has to stand there and show her face, like literally her face.
I mean, she's pretty.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was like, what about this woman?
I hate to do it, but it always is like, you know how vampires just have that
That charisma.
about them. Maybe that's just, she doesn't have to.
Yeah. Roll plus 20.
Yeah. She's just like, you're infatuated. Like, you know.
So they are always associated with a sense of mystification and unease. And the term originates from the French phrase for deadly women or lethal woman. So maybe in a way you could take the ending then that she has to watch over this guy in case he goes down a bad path. Maybe she feels like she has to watch him too.
To take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe because she likes him. Like she's worried that he's
yeah.
kind of in the midway point of doing something.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I could feel better with that ending.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like, again, he doesn't seem very special in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know. I just like the idea that she'd just be like, all right, just go, man. I don't bye. You're just some random dude, you know?
Yeah.
But I can see that idea.
Right. This archetype exists throughout culture, folklore, myths, early Western culture to 19th century. There was a figure in the European Middle Ages often portraying the dangers of unbridled female sexuality.
Oh.
So it's inherited from the biblical figure Eve from pre-medieval times.
Mm-hmm.
As the seductive enchantress typified in Morgan Le Fay.
Oh, Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, the Queen of the Night in Mozart's The Magic Flute. And that was during the Age of Enlightenment.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So this archetype rose to prominence because of the shifting status of women in society. So throughout the 19th century in France and Northern Europe, when activists started to be like, maybe we should have some rights.
Yeah, when women tried to actually, speak up.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they're fucking deadly monsters. So while wives were expected to be obedient and subservient to their husbands, many artists and writers of the late 19th century depicted women as powerfully and dangerously alluring, reflecting society's fear of increasing autonomous women. So they are a product of their time, manifesting a response to the challenges to establish definitions of masculinity and femininity during the 19th century.
Interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, I'd love to do a Femme Fatale season.
Yeah. So as a woman, what are your thoughts on that trope? Or not trope, but archetype. Do you like that?
I like it. Granted, I haven't seen a ton where I feel like it's like oversaturated. It's not like a dystopian archetype or anything like that. But I would say Let Me In is almost a little bit like the Femme Fatale, but as a child.
Ish.
I mean, she does use her powers of persuasion to attack people.
Yeah.
So it's both way, but she doesn't really do it as like righting wrongs or anything, though.
Yeah, that's just more her own personal gain, which work.
Better work it.
Better work it. So does the Femme Fatale have to use her sexuality, or is it just...
It's just like a typical trait that they usually have, but I mean, you could argue, like, anyone's alluring, you know? Like, not doesn't have to be a sexual thing.
Oh, okay.
You could just be charming or obviously just follow people at home and say nothing. And they're like, wow, you should come to my house.
This woman who said nothing, she's great. She didn't say a word. We love her.
Right. Oh, which, I mean, I guess, assuming we don't see a ton of other women in Bad City, but at least based on the other female character, T, like, she's subservient to men in her area. So I guess maybe when she followed him home and didn't say anything, he was like, I can do whatever I want with this girl, and any girl, doesn't matter.
I wonder, so we had that rich girl character.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
I forgot.
What do you think about her? Her role? Is there anything?
Honestly, aside from getting the earrings and just, you know, the circumstance of her influencing him to take drugs, so then he meets the girl that walks on the lawn at night. I feel like you could cut her character entirely because I don't really understand the point of her.
Right.
Did you get any inkling of what she was there for?
No, I was trying to think if there was, like, some kind of meaning behind it. Like,
I guess maybe to show some social class, but comparisons, but we didn't see anything, really.
Right. She's like, fix my TV, here's some drugs.
Yeah.
Bye.
And then again, we'd see the bandage pulled off her nose, like she's like a side character for a second, but then never check up on her again.
Yeah.
We're like, good, I'm glad the nose job worked out.
Okay. Well, now I'm thinking, because really she's the only other female character, and she had that bandage on her nose that we assume was like a nose job situation. Like, they didn't have to include that as part of her character, so I feel like that was there for a reason. So maybe the other aspect of her character was trying to keep up with appearances or something, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, that's a very specific thing that you would add to a character.
Right. Yeah, and then that's specifically improving her beauty and, or, you know, trying to make her more noticeable. So I wonder, almost in an instance, granted we don't know how the girl got turned into a vampire, but I wonder if there's, like, a way that Shada will become the next girl that walks home alone at night.
Maybe. What if? No. Not going there. Like, what if all the women are going to turn to vampires? I'm just, like, going down a rabbit hole.
Maybe, but, you know, she does put herself in dangerous situations with taking drugs and stuff like that. So I could see easily how you can become a scorned woman and how that transcends into becoming a female fatale.
Yeah. Interesting.
Or a femme fatale.
I don't know. I was just curious because, like, besides the vampire and a T, she's the only other real, like, female character.
Yeah, but I feel like we don't have enough time with her to actually determine what her purpose is there for.
Right.
So
there's none, unfortunately, which is a shame because I feel like everything else there was.
Let me look it up real quick. It doesn't really mention why the other girl is here. Well, I don't know why Rich Girl was there.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I guess it has to be about society and stuff like that. You know, somebody has to be rich in this area, but I don't know.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show and listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, giving us a 5-star rating is super helpful, and we will always appreciate it.
You can find us on social media at 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next sleep.
Careful walking home alone at night.
Yeah.
Because
you might be a vampire.
You might be a vampire. Or somebody might be following you. Don't invite people that don't talk to you into your home.
In summation, be safe.
Yes.